Alright, hello everybody, it's me, Clock, and today we're going to be playing Bajo las Rosas, a yandere visual novel. Just a day one demo, okay? Let's start. Sorry for my terrible pronunciation. I can't roll my R's. Day 1, Germ of Desire. I loved my home. Not just for the happy memories I built there, but for the way it seemed to embrace me with its love in every corner. Every step I took, every corner, every rose, everything spoke to me of love. Oh, by the way, so chat, you're seeing it like this? Oh, wait, no. So YouTube, you're seeing it like this? I see the game like this, so please bear with me. You know, I don't know why it's doing that, but it's doing that. So I'm playing kind of off of OBS. Anyways. But no matter how much I loved it, no matter how much I wished to stay forever, you know, I'm the king of scuff and all that. No matter how many times I told it, day after day, how much I cared, it seems it was never enough. Funny, isn't it? In fairy tales, they always talk about happily ever after, but no one ever tells you that forever is actually very short. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that I took it with me, because no matter where I go, my home has always lived here. And that means I can create something just as beautiful, maybe even better. That's a nice rose. I think the most concerning thing is that I've been here for over 2 weeks, and I still have it unfinished packing. You got a couch? Space is much smaller than what I was used to in my old house. And between one thing and another, I always end up watching videos for at least 3 hours. Based? Watch MrClockWorks at youtube.com. YouTube/MrClockWorks. Alright. I knelt in front of a couple of boxes big enough to fit a person inside and started rummaging through their contents for what must have been the 100th time. Kitchen. God, where the hell did I put them? Be eating with plastic cutlery because I can't remember where I packed the real ones. Cutlery 1. Me 0. What a mess I am. But if I'm going to start over, it has to be perfect. I stopped for a moment to look at the chaos around me, and on top of one of the boxes, I spotted a yellow envelope. The apartment paperwork, the one I was supposed to turn in about 3 days ago. I searched for a pen, pulled the paper out of the envelope, and started inspecting the fields, looking for the ones I had yet to fill out. ¿Cuál es tu nombre? Oh my god. Oh my god. The game is asking for my number. Call me maybe. Okay. Chat, don't look. So it's gonna be a good old 1. Okay. Chat, no looking. I know its name. I know. Chat, I know. What are your pronouns? I could go with she, her, but I'm gonna go with a he, him, her. Call you Gabe. Carefully, I packed it back and left it on the table, so I wouldn't forget to drop it off tomorrow. Then I turned my attention back to the place. The apartment itself looked nice enough, but seeing it so empty filled me with unease. My eyes scanned the room, wondering which box to dig into next, till they landed on the imposing sliding door in the corner. Who would have thought an apartment with a garden? Why am I starting my sentences with a I didn't even know those existed. I always thought apartments were designed to squeeze every last inch of space. Suddenly a loud noise broke my train of thought. Sorry. From the ceiling, a series of heavy, continuous thuds rang out, like someone was playing baseball, testing how many it would take to break the ceramic floor. The good old apartment life. I sighed, slightly annoyed. I really would have preferred getting a house, but time was breathing down my neck, and I didn't have the luxury to look for something better. My eyes drifted back to the glass door leading to the patio, and then an idea struck me. I got it. So that's what I was missing. I carefully maneuvered through the scattered mess on the floor, as if navigating an improvised parkour course. Unlike those damn cutlery pieces, I knew exactly where to find what I needed to make this place feel like home. A clock? I foresee a big clock on the wall. Don't ask why I have a giant clock in my house. I reached one of the more isolated boxes, one that looked different from the rest. I grabbed it carefully and sat down on the floor, peeling off the tape with the same delicacy as unwrapping a precious... Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I forgot to look at OBS. And there they were, wrapped in plastic and cushioned by colorful damp towels. A bouquet of red roses, roots and all. Wait, what? You put that in a box? So beautiful, so perfect, that just looking at them felt intoxicating. Felt my heart grow lighter. These roses were truly important to me. And you put them in a box? I lifted the bouquet with the utmost care, as if holding a multi-million-dollar painting. The wrapping crinkled under my fingers as I peeled back layer after layer, like an artist undressing his muse. But something made me freeze. Something was wrong. A sour smell invaded my nose. Ugh. I felt my body tense, my skin prickling. With the bouquet fully unwrapped, I pushed aside a few roses until I reached the bottom. Thorns and all, eh? And there it was, a completely rotten rose. No. No, 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 no! Wait, we have a lot of scars on our hand. How often do we just reach into the... Stinky clock, it's a stinky flower, not me. But also, how often do we have cats that we play with a lot, or do we like just cut ourselves on roses a lot? In desperation, I started plucking away the damaged petals. One by one, they fell to the floor, but the more I tried to save it, the faster it seemed to decay before my eyes, as if it was desperately trying to escape me. At last, only the bare stem remained in my hand. Tears began falling before I even realized it. I clenched the stem so tightly that the thorns pierced my skin. But the physical pain was nothing compared to the agony of seeing my beloved rose dead. I shot to my feet, still gripping the stem. A loud buzzing echoed in my head, making me stumble and nearly fall. I felt my body temperature rise rapidly. My vision blurred with tears, and my jaw trembled violently as if about to shatter. With every passing second, every breathing became harder. This isn't my fault. I took care of you. I did everything right so you'd stay with me forever. Brother, you put a bouquet in a box. I don't know what to say. You can't do this to me. You can't pay me back like this after everything I did for you. Something tells me there's more to this flower than meets the eye. The stem slipped from between my fingers, falling to the ground. My body trembled uncontrollably. A thick red haze clouded my thoughts, and the air grew heavy. Breathing hurt. Each inhale felt like sharp knives driving into my chest. I began pacing desperately, knocking over everything in my path. Damn it! I slammed hard against a wall. I turned and grabbed it with my bloodied hands, and... a metallic scent filled the air. Okay. Don't post your limp, wilting flower, chat. My flower's hard. Standing tall. Your flower limp and wilting. I felt a deep pain consuming me, slowly spreading through my entire body, like a viscous mass trying to bury me alive. Buried alive. Kinky. I hope that never really happened. ... Question mark? What is that? Slowly, a soft scent began to surround me. Sweet, but not too much. Somehow familiar. The smell. I frowned, trying to place it. It reminds me of something. Something warm and joyful. I opened my eyes with difficulty. Brought a hand to my forehead and blinked several times, trying to collect my thoughts. Clock reference! What the hell happened? I looked around. A recognized the bed, the walls, even the small table by the window. It was my room. How convenient, since I definitely didn't leave it this tidy. The curtains were up, slightly parted, letting in just enough light without hitting my face directly. The furniture I had left stacked against the door was now neatly arranged, perfectly aligned. Even the decorations I had scattered all over the floor were now carefully placed. And for some reason, everything was arranged exactly like my room in my old house. I knew someone was going to point out Lolita. On top of that, I noticed I was tucked in perfectly under my blankets, wrapped with meticulous care. That is an interesting book to put on display, I won't lie. Not that it's a bad book, not that it's like I'm not a hater, but I'm also just, that is an interesting one to choose to put on full display. I don't remember lying down here. As my gaze wandered across the room, something caught my attention. The amount of light filtering through the curtains looked like it was daytime. Last time I was conscious, it was early at night. Oh no, how long was I asleep? I tried to sit up, but my body didn't respond, and gravity pulled me back against the mattress. I'm worried about sleeping in. Son of a bitch, someone's in my house and they just I have a maid or something. Literal butler moment. Ugh, damn it. Everything hurts. Are you not concerned about the actual stalker? I lifted my trembling hand to my forehead and noticed a strip of fabric placed here. Is this a bandage? I looked at my other hand. It was also wrapped, carefully and precisely. What is this? Suddenly, I heard a faint noise on the other side of the door. Like someone pacing back and forth. Oh god, there's our stalker. Wait. Wait. Someone! Someone in my apartment? How the hell did someone get in? Is that why everything looks so organized? Oh, there we go. We finally clocked in, chat. For a moment, my mind went completely blank as I thought about that last part again. Everything organized. Get up, stay in bed. Can I save? Can I do anything, brother? This? Ah! Okay. Alright. Well, it looks like we ain't saving this time. My chronic saving power is gonna have to take a step back. Let's just stay in bed, chat. I'm feeling staying in bed. Fear and anxiety took hold of me, freezing me in place. To be fair, this game is made in Godot, I believe. I believe it's made in Godot. Or Unity, one or the other. It's not made with the normal visual novel engine or RPG Maker systems, game engines, so it's probably pretty hard to add that sort of thing. So for now, this is what they got. It's pretty decent so far. Fear and anxiety took hold of me, freezing me in place. Oh, I picked that because I just wanted to go back to sleep. My heart pounded wildly, as if it was about to burst out of my chest at any second. A sudden dizziness washed over me, and my whole body went stiff. What the hell am I supposed to do? Does he want money? Maybe he just wants to get rid of me. After everything I've done, I'm honestly surprised they haven't locked me up before. Should I go and defend myself? What do you mean locked me up before? What is my past, bro? But I have nothing to fight with. That would be like walking straight into the lion's den. 1,000 different scenarios raced through my mind. Every single one of them ended with me dead. In the end, I chose to stay silent, listening intently to every little noise, clinging to the faint hope that whoever was in my apartment would just leave. Because if they hadn't done anything to me yet, there had to be a reason. Felt like hours passed, though I couldn't really tell. I was too afraid to even move, scared that they'd hear me, that they'd realize I was awake and come for me. The footsteps continued for a while longer, and then, finally, thank God, I heard the front door close. Oh, they just left. Based. I shot out of bed and ran as fast as I could to the front door. My hands were trembling so badly that it took me a few tries to lock it properly, but I managed. I let out a sigh as my legs gave out, leaving me on the floor. I'm not gonna lie, I did not think my would-be killer would just leave. I thought that was like he was gonna come in. Okay. Hey, yo. I let out a sigh as my legs gave out, leaving me on the floor. Watches just like right behind me. I leaned against the door, trying to steady my breathing. I think I would have preferred the lion. Once my vision cleared again, I finally noticed it. What? Why is my living room cleaned up too? Still a little dizzy, I carefully stood up and made my way towards the table. There's a note. Oh. Sorry if this feels weird. I know waking up to a note from a stranger in your apartment isn't exactly pleasant. Get out of my attic, bro. I found you unconscious and bleeding on the floor, so I let myself in to help. Cleaned up a little and tidied the place so you'd be more comfortable when you woke up. I also made you something to eat. I don't know what you like, but I hope it's enough to help you regain some energy. I understand this might feel like an invasion, and I apologize if it does, but I couldn't just ignore you in that state. By the way, I'm Ren. I live in the tower across from yours. So if you need anything, just let me know. I'll be keeping an eye on you. Get some rest and take care. The tower across... I live in a castle? That's badass. Nice. Huh. Clever. I didn't want to admit it, but his excuse made a lot of sense. Looking around, nothing really seemed to be missing, except my front door. Why was it open? Except it wasn't. But it was strange. Everything was set up exactly the way I used to organize my old place. Could it just be coincidence? Maybe we just have the same taste in decor. I mean, you don't have a lot of options. Yeah, that had to be it. Yeah, for sure. Better not overthink it. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't come up with a more logical answer. Stalker. The warm aroma of freshly made food hit me as soon as I stepped into the kitchen. Smells good. On the counter, there was a plate of food. Next to it, one of my vases inside, carefully placed in water, were my beloved roses. Despite everything that had happened, they looked perfect. My gaze drifted back to the plate of food. Oh, wow, that's so cute. What the hell? This is so cute. Yo, I can't eat this. Does he think I'm still a kid? Or is this just how he normally cooks? I stared at the food for a moment, and before I realized it, my eyes stung with unshed tears, a lump forming in my throat. Well, now I feel bad we didn't say hi to him. It's been a long time since anyone cooked for me. The taste was warm, comforting, like a hug in the form of food. It felt like happiness in the shape of a meal. This feeling, it was so familiar. I closed my eyes, trying to dig deep into my mind, searching for the memory that brought me so much warmth. Flashback. My hands were freezing, the tip of my nose had turned red. Everything was blurry. I wasn't sure if it was because of the winter cold or the tears I refused to let fall. Today hadn't been a good day. Didn't want to go home like this. Didn't want Mom to see me like this. She'd probably just get mad at me. So I came here. Here, everyone is kind, warm, full of light and love. Love that they have no envy in sharing, as long as it makes you happy. Or at least, that's what he always told me. I sighed, watching the mist of my breath rise into the frigid air. Didn't take him long to find me. As always, he knew exactly where I'd be. Clock. Ah, there you are. His calm voice made me crumble, just like hearing him was enough to make me feel at home. He walked over without hesitation. Before I could say anything, he slid his white scarf around my neck. Your hands are freezing, he murmured, taking my fingers in his and rubbing them gently. How long have you been out here? It's too cold. You'll get sick at this rate. I could see the concern in his eyes, even through my messy hair. I didn't respond. I just lowered my gaze, focusing on the warmth of his hands around mine. You don't have to tell me what happened if you don't want to. Just, I don't like seeing you like this. The warmth in his voice, the tenderness, it only made it harder to hold back my tears. Why are we crying, bro? Oh, hi. You know, no matter how hard your day has been, you should never let anyone take away your beautiful smile. And if you ever feel like crying, let it be only for what's truly worth it, because no one, not even me, deserves to be the cause of your pain. You're stronger than you think. You just get lost in the noise of your thoughts. I'm not? I bet he is dead. Why you gotta make assumptions like that, chat? Yes, you are. You're strong, you're brilliant, and even if you sometimes forget, I never will. No matter what happens, I'll stay by your side to remind you as many times as necessary. His hands tightened around mine as if trying to anchor me to reality, to him. For a moment, the world didn't feel so cold. Thanks for playing! Day 2 is still in development and will be available. Okay, I feel like there's a lot more if I pick the other option, by the way. Available in September. If you like the project and want to support it, any donation, no matter how small, would be greatly appreciated and will help tremendously in keeping the game moving forward. Okay, I just wanted to say, Sleepy. Wait, what's going on? Do I have to close the game? He's that dead character dialogue. Well, guess what? He's not dead. He's not dead, chat. He's not dead. Oh, wait, there we go. Okay, let's go back. Nope, never mind. Let's go gallery. Preferences. Main menu. Yes. English or Spanish. Okay. YouTube, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go back to that one option and pick the other one because I feel like I wasn't supposed to do that. One. Okay. Alright, YouTube, we're back. This time, let's get up. Let's see what he looks like. With a superhuman effort, I managed to get out of bed. I carefully approached the door and pressed my ear against the cold wood. Silence. I slowly opened the door, praying that my bad luck wouldn't strike at this exact moment and make it creak like a demon. Everything is fine. Suddenly, I heard footsteps approaching from behind me. What? Oh no, this is it for me. I spun around, ready to face my fate, because if I was going to die, I at least wanted to see it coming. Oh, hey. Sorry. Hey, with Riz. Instinctively, I took the first defensive stance that came to mind. But no knife, no gun. He's not going to kill me. Though, he doesn't really look like a thief either. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. I'm glad you woke up. I was starting to get worried. His voice was soft and calm, with a tranquility that completely threw me off. How could he say that when a stranger had just broken into my apartment? I felt my panic rising, my face turning pale. I quickly stepped back, careful not to trip over anything. What? Who are you? What are you doing in my apartment? How did you even get in? Without taking my eyes off him, I fumbled behind me for something. Anything I could use to defend myself from this lunatic. My hands hit something sharp. I grabbed it tightly and pointed it straight at him. Are you kidding me? A plastic fork. Kill me. I clenched the fork as tightly as I could, trying to hide the trembling in my hands. I can't let this guy see that I'm scared. I don't want to end up on some cheap news channel's headline, sliced up in his own apartment. But to my surprise, the guy didn't react at all. No stepping back, no sudden movements. He simply lowered his gaze to my weapon. I saw him bite his lips, clearly trying to suppress a smile. Brother's smiling right now. Are you planning to stab me or invite me to dinner? I don't know if I should feel offended or completely humiliated. Is this normal for him? Breaking into strangers' homes? Seriously, I'm sorry. To be honest, I'd already thought of a few ways to explain myself. But I have to admit, your excellent attack wasn't in any of the possible scenarios I had imagined. Come on, man. You surprised me. The guy watched me for a few moments, and his body tensed slightly. He took a step back, and his expression softened. Maybe he realized I was on the verge of losing my nerves. Hey, relax. I'm not here to hurt you. Actually, I'm the one who should be scared of you and that dangerous fork. Cut the jokes. You're not answering my question. Who are you and how did you get in here? He fell silent for a few seconds, staring at me intently. I understand this must be really strange for you, and I promise I can explain everything, okay? But first, are you sure you're okay? He reached out toward the bandage on my forehead, but stopped halfway and simply pointed to his own. You hit your head pretty hard. Suddenly, I noticed the faint stinging in my hands and the pressure in my head. I remembered the bandages covering my hands, along with the piece of gauze on my forehead. You... Don't push yourself. You were in pretty bad shape when I found you, and I thought you wouldn't wake up so soon. I stayed silent, trying to process it, so he was the one who bandaged me. Sorry, I know. It's a lot to take in all at once. But seriously, how do you feel? Headache? Dizziness? Do you want me to change your bandages? His voice had a calmness that completely disarmed me, though I couldn't decide if that was reassuring or unsettling. And his eyes looked so familiar. Where have I seen them before? In the bad ending. I'm fine, I think. I said it more out of instinct than certainty. My body still felt heavy, but I didn't want to give him any more reasons to stay. Are you sure? Because when I saw you... He paused as if choosing his words carefully. I noticed him spinning the silver rings on his fingers. I live in the tower across the street. I was passing by when I heard a loud thud. I didn't really care at first, but then the smell of blood started coming from your apartment. Okay, Mr. Vampire? I knocked to ask if everything was okay, but no one answered. And then, the door just opened up on its own. And there you were. He gestured towards the floor near the couch. After making sure I had looked where he was pointing, he crossed his arms. Believe me, breaking into houses for fun isn't really my thing. I frowned. Did I really leave the door open? No. I mean, it's not such a crazy idea. Okay. With how absent-minded I am, I wouldn't be surprised if I also left the stove on. I shook my head trying to focus on what actually mattered. That still doesn't explain why you decided to stay. Well, I mean, if someone was knocked unconscious and I had to, like, literally lift them up and carry them to their bed and shit, I probably wouldn't just leave them. I feel like that'd be scarier. Like, I feel like that'd be really scary. Like, just wake up, no explanation. Like, even a note would still be really weird, I feel. His reddish eyes stared at me in disbelief. Like I was the one not making sense. Alright, let's look at it this way. Would it have made more sense for me to find someone bleeding on the floor and not try to help? I hate to admit it, but he definitely has a good point. I guess I should thank you, but I don't think you should stay here. I hate to admit it, but he definitely has a good point. Leaving you alone seemed like a bad idea. Besides, I wanted to make sure you were completely okay. Though now, I see you're perfectly prepared for any emergency with that. But hey, in critical situations, creativity is key. You wouldn't want to know how many men I've scooped the eyeballs out with plastic forks. Points for you. I lowered my gaze to my hands, which were still gripping the fork. Starting to feel a little guilty. He had helped me, and I was just attacking him. I sighed and finally let go of the plastic fork, placing it back on the table where I had grabbed it from. Alright, I believe you. I looked around curiously. But why is everything so neat? I definitely didn't leave it like this. The guy tensed for a moment and simply shrugged. While I was waiting for you to wake up, I picked up a little thing and put it in its place. Then another, and let's just say I got a little carried away. His tone grew a bit sheepish, and he started glancing around as if he wasn't fully aware of how much he had tidied up. He shook his head and quickly returned to his usual relaxed demeanor. But you have to admit, this place needed some fixing. It honestly looked more like a battlefield than an apartment. Even your poor bed, overflowing with clothes, wasn't spared. Alright, I have to admit I appreciate that. Not every day does someone break into your place and clean it up for free. At that moment, my thoughts came to a screeching halt. I started scanning the room with a growing anxiety. Hey, where are my roses? Your roses? Yes, I had a beautiful bouquet of red roses. They were... Quickly looked towards the spot on the floor where I had left them last night, but they were gone. My chest tightened. I looked at him with pleading desperation. I was definitely about to pass out again. For a moment, his expression changed, and he hesitated slightly, but he quickly returned to his usual tone. Yeah. He gestured towards the kitchen door. You had left them scattered everywhere, but surprisingly, they were still in decent shape. They just lost a few petals, and... He seemed like he wanted to say something else, but stopped himself. Though I could already guess, it was probably about the blood-stained, budless stem left on the floor. I picked them up and put them in the water. I let out a breath, feeling my heart settle back to its normal rhythm. There was a slight discomfort knowing someone else had touched something so important to me, but I was grateful that, at least, most of them had been saved. They're really beautiful. Did you grow them yourself? Yeah. I love roses. That wasn't entirely true. Well, not 100%. Loving them isn't enough. It's such a tiny, insignificant word compared to what I feel for them. Saying only that would be like looking at a star and calling it pretty. It doesn't do it justice. Saying I love them and leaving it at that feels far too shallow. But obviously, I wasn't about to tell my entire life story about roses to a complete stranger, so I just looked away. I see. You know, not everyone has the dedication to create and care for something this beautiful. You're really talented. His words caught me off guard. Felt a faint warmth creeping up my cheeks and quickly averted my gaze. I guess. I tried to sound indifferent, but that was definitely not my strong suit. Before he could respond, I hurried to change the subject. Alright, I guess I owe you a thank you. If you hadn't shown up, I probably would have ended up with an infection or just kept lying there, bleeding out. Oh, was that a thank you? I didn't quite hear it. Could you say it again? Regret. Complete, utter regret. I shot him a death glare. Alright, I'm sorry. You're welcome. His smile shines, and that faint flush on his cheeks feels familiar. For just a second, that warmth takes me to a place I thought I had lost forever. I shook my head to clear those thoughts. This is definitely not the time to get nostalgic. Do you want something to drink? I mean, I don't have much, but there's water and some sodas. Started walking toward the kitchen, passing by him. I've got a cat. Give me a second. I've got a cat. I've got a cat. I've got a cat. Come here. You're in my arms. Ow. 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 Ah. Ah. I snatched my cat. He promptly did not like that. Sorry, back to the game. No need. Don't trouble yourself with that. Actually, let me make you something to eat. You must be starving. Question mark? How do you know that? Are you really surprised? He took a step forward, keeping a respectable distance. You've been sleeping since early last night. At least, I don't know, more than 15 hours. So I doubt you'll last much longer without eating something. He leaned slightly towards me, just close enough to get a better look at my face. Besides, ever since you woke up, you've been getting paler and paler. It's not too obvious, but it's noticeable. And it's easy to tell when someone has less energy than usual. Well, we've got ourselves a Mr. Observant here. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Wait, than usual? But don't worry, I won't let you starve. It's not that bad, I'm fine. How late am I? Yikes. Late. He didn't respond. He just kept looking at my face for a few more silent seconds. It's kind of uncomfortable, to be honest. However, his unwavering gaze also gives me a chance to observe his face more closely. I hadn't thought about it before, but it was already daytime. That meant he had been taking care of me all night. Yet despite that, he didn't look tired at all. though maybe it was just because of his flawless red makeup. Without another word, he stepped away and walked towards the fridge, slipping off his silver rings. Alright, I'll take care of it. Take care of what? Making you something to eat. If you don't eat, you'll feel worse. If you feel worse, I'll worry. If I worry, I won't leave. Though honestly, I wouldn't mind looking after you again, as long as I don't have to clean up blood next time. I rolled my eyes as he opened the fridge, scanning its contents quickly. Wait, you don't have to do that. Seriously, I'm fine. You know, it's not about whether I have to do it, it's that I want to. And you won't stop me until I see you've eaten something decent. So, what do you like to eat? And don't you dare say nothing. What if I say anything's fine? He threw me an amused glance over his shoulder, a barely concealed smile on his lips. Alright, suit yourself. I'll make whatever I want. Great, I basically just signed a contract without reading the fine print. I sighed, but didn't argue any further. Meanwhile, the guy moved around the kitchen with impressive skill and speed. It was like watching a live cooking competition on TV, except without the hysterical screams of the audience. Every knife cut was precise, the way he sautéed the ingredients was flawless, and he even seemed to know all the measurements by heart. No cook knows the measurements by heart. No cook does. A baker, maybe. A cook? We measure with our heart and soul. I wanted to ask if I could help with something, but seeing his pace, I would definitely just get in the way. With nothing else to do, I leaned against the counter and watched him in silence. Hey. He paused for a moment, turning his head towards me with curiosity. It just hit me. I don't even know his name. And I'm already letting him cook me lunch? What kind of medieval servitude is this? He tilted his head slightly, a playful expression crossing his face as he noticed my bewilderment. Tongues out. Ren. Huh? My name's Ren. Nice to meet you, Pookie. What? What's wrong? Surprised that we're close enough for nicknames. What do you mean close enough? We don't even know each other that well. I don't know. Technically, I saved your life. Took care of you all night. Now I'm making you lunch. If you think about it, we've already passed several important stages. Stages of what? Our future marriage, obviously. What? No, that's not obvious at all. That's not how relationships work. So how much time do you need to accept that I'm the love of your life? 1 more day? 2? 0. I need 0 days for that. Well, we'll see about that, dear denial-ridden partner. Ran a hand over my face, letting out a frustrated sigh. He really seems to find everything amusing. And apparently I'm part of that everything, too. Alright. Back to what really matters. Feeding the damsel in distress. I'm not a damsel in distress. I'm a man. In shambles. Oh, you're not? Well then. I guess I'll just keep having to call you Pookie. Don't call me Pookie. I crossed my arms, puffing my cheeks slightly. He let out another laugh, clearly amused by my indignation, before turning his attention back to the food. A few minutes later, the warm aroma of freshly cooked food filled the room. It smelled really good. Clock needs to get red eyeshadow. I already have red eyes. What are you talking about? Red eyeshadow. It smelled really good. Rin turned back to me, placing a plate of food and a glass of deep purple juice on the table beside me. Excuse me, purple juice. Red eyeshadow. What? Purple juice. Tastes like purple. Ah, it's so cute. I leaned in closer to the plate, taking in every little detail in awe. Not only did it smell amazing, but it also looked adorable. Eating it almost felt like a crime. The comforting scent of warm food hit me all at once. It had been so long since anyone had cooked for me. I eagerly sat down to try it. Oh, I guess he does have... Oh my god. I knew he has, like, eyeshadow and eyeliner and stuff, but I did not realize he had red eyeliner. Or red eyeshadow. It's not happening, Jen. Wait, where did you learn to make this? I used to cook for the kids at an orphanage. They loved it when I made little shapes with their food. Sometimes they'd even start making up stories and playing instead of eating. So lunchtime turned into playtime whenever I cooked. Absent-mindedly, he spun one of his rings around his finger. When did he put those back on? I got scolded a few times for it, but it was worth it just to see them happy. He fell silent for a moment, staring at the table. Then, after blinking a couple of times, he seemed to realize he had shared something quite personal. But he just smiled, slipping back into his usual attitude. Although, honestly, my best ones were the rice bunnies. They're easier than any other shapes, and besides, they're super cute, don't you think? Is he trying to change the subject while staying on the same topic? Oh, so you worked at an orphanage, huh? It's obvious you cared a lot. Yeah, something like that. He didn't look me in the eyes, but it was clear he didn't want to talk about it any further. He didn't say he worked at an orphanage. It was just when it was his turn to cook. I didn't want to make him uncomfortable either, so I just focused on my food. I took a bite, and as soon as the flavor spread across my palate, my eyes widened in astonishment. This is amazing. The fluffy texture of the rice contrasted perfectly with the softness of the vegetables. There was a perfect balance between sweet and savory, with a hint of spices that gave it a comforting, almost familiar taste. It was warm, homey, filled with something I couldn't quite describe, but that felt like a hug in the form of food. Ren chuckled at my exaggerated reaction, then leaned against the counter with his arms crossed, watching me as I continued to enjoy my meal. For a few minutes, everything felt peaceful. The atmosphere was incredibly comfortable, almost familiar, like we had known each other for much longer than we actually had. As I kept eating, savoring every bite, a strange feeling washed over me. The drugs. Warmth. But it wasn't just from the food. It was from the it was from me. It came from him. It was happiness. But not the shallow kind. It was the kind of joy that fills the deepest part of your heart. The kind a child feels when they come home after a long day and find someone waiting for them with open arms. And that's when I realized I had felt this before. This exact warmth, the same sense of security, like I was exactly where I was supposed to be, what I'd always been meant to be. I tried to grasp the memory, to hold on to that lost fragment, but it was like trying to catch sand with my fingers. Frustrated, I closed my eyes for a moment. Have we met before? The question slipped out in a whisper before I even realized it. Thankfully, Ren didn't seem to hear me. I shook my head. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Why did someone cut his sleeves? He was in a knife fight for his life. Yeah, it's really rough out here on these streets. I shook my head. Maybe I'm just imagining things. Yeah, that had to be it. Ren's phone vibrated against the counter. He picked it up and turned on the screen. For a moment, he seemed to hold his breath, and the warmth in his eyes dulled. Scandalous arm slips. Ren. He stared at the message for a second longer before exhaling slowly. Sorry, Clock. He slipped the phone into his pocket and looked at me. I have to go. Huh? So suddenly? Ren nodded, glancing away for an instant before looking back at me with his usual smile, though this time something about it felt different. You know, despite how all of this turned out, I'm really glad I met you. He didn't give me a chance to respond before he started walking towards the kitchen door. Right before crossing, though, he turned back and raised a hand in a casual wave. Without another word, he left. The door shut behind him, and I heard his footsteps heading towards the main exit, until finally the sound of the front door closing echoed through the space. I stayed there in silence, still a little unsettled by his sudden departure. Oh, and that's the end of the second part of the demo. Day 2 is still in development and will be available in September. If you like the project and want to support it, any donation, no matter how small, would be greatly appreciated. It will help tremendously in keeping the game moving forward. Okay, guys? Oh, yeah, I have to go here. Boom, bada bing. Let's go to the gallery. Nothing. Oh, wait. Hey, there you go. Wait, there you go. Wait, there was another one. Okay, never mind. We're going to run it back one more time. I guess it's in the other option we didn't pick, brother. Excuse me. All right, well. All right, run it back. Run it back. Oh, my. I keep hitting it. Preferences. Main menu. There we go. Okay. I got to run it back, chat. I got to run it back. Looks like there's more. This is one more gallery picture we didn't see, chat. Oh, my lord. I guess we gotta go back for that other text option. There's no skip button. I just have to click like a madman. Also, for some reason, it has a very long loading screen. Hey, okay. I guess I should thank you, but I don't think you should stay here. He blinked a couple of times at my response. Instead of getting upset, he just tilted his head slightly, as if considering something. Fair enough. I don't blame you for being cautious. It's not every day you wake up with a stranger in your home. There wasn't a hint of anger or sarcasm in his voice. In fact, he sounded understanding. I won't stay if you don't want me to, especially if my presence makes you uncomfortable, but before kicking me out, at least let me change that bandage. If it gets infected and you end up losing an arm, I'd feel guilty. I promise, I don't bite. Fine, but make it quick. As you command. He made me sit on the couch, picked up the bandages, and the first aid kit from the table and walked towards me with an easygoing stride. Sorry, this might sting a little. It's fine, don't worry about it. The guy knelt on the floor in front of me and reached out his hand, silently asking for mine. Where are those thick thighs? Look, brother, they're underneath this guy's waistline, okay? If I didn't know the context, I'd swear this was a scene straight out of a romance movie, with the prince asking for his beloved's hand. I did not do a lap dance for chat earlier today, okay? We were not showing off the thick thighs. I really need to stop watching so much TV. Feeling a bit embarrassed, I looked away and placed my hands in his. YouTube, you're missing out. Make sure to join Twitch streams once in a while, okay? I felt his skin shiver slightly at the contact, but he tried to hide it. With great care, he started removing the old bandages from my hands, doing his best to avoid touching my skin directly. He prepared the cotton with saline solution and dabbed it gently over the cuts of my palms. It stung a little, but I did my best to keep from making a face. Once he finished, he wrapped my hands with fresh bandages, but even though he was done, he lingered for a few seconds, silently staring at my hands. Something wrong? Oh, no. Don't worry, it's nothing. It's just, you have a lot of scars on your hands. Yeah, I called that out too, actually. They look old. I lowered my gaze. I didn't like talking about it. It's nothing important. He didn't say anything, and instead of insisting, he simply wrapped my hands in his with a warmth I didn't expect. I think scars are like constellations in the sky. From a distance, they just look like tiny marks, imperfections on what was once a smooth surface. But if you really look at them, if you truly see them, you can find stories in them. You can see someone's map, the roads they've traveled, the battles they've won. His fingers traced the back of my bandaged hand with a gentle touch, and no matter how broken they may seem, they're still beautiful. Because they're proof that, no matter what happened, you're still here. My throat tightened. I didn't know what to say. No one had ever seen my scars as anything other than flaws or signs of weakness, but he looked at them like they were something precious. Oh. Okay, bro's got the riz on him. My chest felt strange, as if an invisible knot were tightening around my heart. But for some reason this time, I didn't want to pull away. Slowly, I placed my hand over his, and even though our skin didn't touch, I could feel the warmth radiating from him. It was a familiar feeling, one I thought I had lost a long time ago. For the first time in years, I felt seen, not as something to be fixed, not as someone to be pitied, just seen for who I was.
Not.
Not yet, chat, my pants! Gently, he gave my hand a slight squeeze. Now nut! And took a few steps back, helping me to my feet. Hey. I don't even know your name. The boy blinked in surprise before letting out a soft chuckle. You're right. That is a bit of a problem, isn't it? My name's Ren. It's nice to meet you, Clock. I guess. Ren laughed at my response. My voice had clearly shaken a little. It had been a long time since I'd felt this nervous. Well, mission accomplished. You know, despite how everything happened, I'm really glad I met you. You're a very beautiful person, Clock. He walked towards the door, but before leaving, he turned to look at me one last time. Take care, Pookie. With that, he disappeared through the door.
Nut.
There you go. Now he's gone, chat. You can nut as much as you like. The sound of his footsteps slowly faded until, eventually, they were gone. And that's the end of the demo for real this time. No! Yes. Wrong timing. Nope, you're good. You can nut now that he's gone, chat. That's all good. You don't have to worry about it at all. Okay? Let's go back to the main menu. Yup. Options. Gallery. Okay. Boom. Boom. Boom! So this was the flashback. His hair is the same, right? Like, his hair is the exact same. So, I mean, spoiler alert? Was this just... I mean, maybe, you know... This guy, someone in chat said he's dead. He's dead. Definitely not dead. Definitely not dead. He can't be dead, chat. He can't be dead, okay? He just can't be dead. We don't know that, okay? We don't know that for sure. Cutie is Jack Frost. When he died, he got where? No. He didn't die, chat. I'm sure this is just his twin brother who's also albino, okay? His dialogue, Lamau. His dialogue was pretty, I'm fucking dead. MC dialogue and his dialogue were pretty much, this guy's fucking dead. Post-traumatic? Okay, I don't think we fought in the war. The scars are from Rosas, I'm pretty sure, from gardening. Maybe not. Maybe, you know, we went through some horrible, tortured past, but I'm pretty sure the MC mentioned they do a lot of gardening, and they like roses a lot. More than anything in the world, so I would imagine they're from roses, from loving them, whatever that entails. Water check. Roses are beautiful. They are. I always make sure to buy them. I literally go out and buy roses, like, at least, like, once in a while in a blue moon, just to surprise, Ginger. I like to pair them with something. I think last time I bought them, I bought hydrangeas with them. I really like hydrangeas. And I really like, lilies as well, but, I'm not gonna lie, if I buy lilies, they're gonna fucking die. So, I don't buy lilies very often. What incarnation? Haha, get it? Because carnations kind of look like roses a little bit, and they're also romantic. I've actually never bought a carnation, though.
Sounds like tarnation.
Yeah, I know. Tarnation. Yeah, I know. Sunflowers are beautiful? I disagree. From afar, okay, sunflowers look nice. You get up real close to a sunflower, and that shit does not look nice. That shit looks scary for some reason. This shit looks like an eldritch nightmare if you stare into it. Especially after the seeds have fallen out, okay? I don't know why, I just don't like it. Ugh, it gives me the shivers. Okay? Never buy carnations, they're funeral flowers. Really? Because I'm pretty sure they give them out for Valentine's Day in North America. Yeah, to be fair, flowers can have multiple meanings. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, every culture, they want you dead. People used to be very, sunflowers are tasty, can confirm. Please stop eating the flowers. You're supposed to eat the seed.
That's my garden, idiot.
That's my garden. Stop chewing on my flowers.
Watching on my flowers.
God, how many watchtowers do I have to install above my garden, Chad, so you stop chewing on the flowers? God, God. Anyways, YouTube. Anyways, I don't know what kind of conversation we're having now, but thank you so much for watching. I like the game. It seems to have a lot of hidden lore from the player, from the MC side and from Rin's side. Both of you are very mysterious, you know, a lot going on there. What's going on, man? What's going on? But very interesting. Translation was fairly, well, really well done, actually. You know, it was actually great. I'm surprised the writing is very immersive, I would say. It is going a little perfectly, but I'm not a huge fan of when games are like super perfect. I mean, that is kind of like the purpose of an otome game. Like it is kind of like the whole like you are playing for escapism and all that. I don't know. I don't know. I guess maybe that's just me. I just feel like super when someone like perfect just strolls on up, like I just don't it kind of like throws me off, I guess. It doesn't matter. Like nobody's I guess I'm just really jaded. I guess I'm just really fucking jaded. Um you're scared to get close. Anyways. Anyways. I only care if they're hot. Yeah, I know, chat. I know for a lot of you guys it doesn't matter. He could be like a murderer, he could be a serial rapist. If he's hot, he gets the pass. Okay? I get that. I understand. Don't worry. I got you. You could be like number 50 on the list and it wouldn't matter. I get it. I get it. You don't care. He just has to be hot. I understand. I totally get it, chat. I know what you're into. I get it, you know? You're a degenerate. That's fine. YouTube, I hope you're not as bad, but I know how it be sometimes, you know? Sometimes you're willing to look past anything for a hot guy. I get it, okay? As long as he's good with us. Yeah, exactly. As long as he treats you nice, right? Am I right, chat? No? Stop lying to yourself. Do we have no I don't know. You don't. It's kind of crazy. You really don't have any standards, chat. What the hell? Get some standards, okay? I'm just messing with everybody. But anyways, thank you for watching, everybody. My name is Clock, if you forgot. And please, if you are new here, clock that like button and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And if you're new here, I'm sure you'll enjoy the rest of the channel. I do lots of yandere games, visual novels, horror games, indie games, just for fun. Every day, new upload. So make sure to check out my other videos. If you like this, you'll like the rest. And with that, I'm clocking out. Thank you to all my current subscribers, but I'm peacing out. So I will see you next time, YouTube. Bye.